Hi, it's Kasper from the Chatbot team. Today I'd like to show you how you can personalize your bot story using attributes and also how to control your bot flow using filters. So in the previous lesson we introduced you to attributes. To remind you what they do, they're like data buckets in which you can store specific values, for example customer name, email or the product name the customer is looking for. At the moment we already collect 3 different attributes, and that's the customer name, customer email, and the name of the plant the customer is looking for. Today we will be using the first 2 of them, so the customer name and customer email, to prepare a quick summary message confirming that the request has been collected successfully. So let's start by adding the bot response right after the add to segment message, in which we will be adding the text response right after the add to segment action. I already prepared some example message that we'll be using today, and it says, "Thank you name, your request has been registered. We will send our reply to the email address." Right now we are using placeholders here, and what we want to do is to replace that placeholder with the actual customer name and customer email. And to do so, we want to first remove the placeholder, and instead of that placeholder we'll be adding the attribute right here. To do so, we want to click on the attributes icon right below the text field and choose name from the list. That's the list of the attributes that we already have in our story. Okay, and now we want to do the same for the email placeholder. So remove the placeholder, click on the icon for the attributes and choose email from the list. Okay, let's save that interaction. And I think we're ready to go. Let's test it out. If you want to test the specific part of the story without the need of testing the whole story from the beginning, you can always right-click on the specific action and click Start Testing from Here button. Okay, let's provide the required data. So my name is Kasper. Let's add some test message, test email. Okay, and the name of the plant we are looking for. So let's say it's Monstera. Okay, great. As you can see, the message has been replaced with the actual data from the chat and from the questions provided in the previous step. So we have, "Thank you, Kasper. Your request has been registered. We will send our reply to the test@email.com email address." That's great. For now, we are ready to go, and in the next part of this lesson, we will discuss how we can personalize the greeting message for the returning customers. So let's get started. Okay, so now let's talk about the other ways of personalizing your bot story. This time we will use filters to either greet the customer by the name, if we already know it, or to greet them with a regular greeting instead. To do so, we will use filters. Let's click on the welcome message response to customize the greeting message. So we'll be using the name attribute for this, and in our new greeting we want to welcome the customer by the name. So let's say something like "Welcome back," and right now we want to add the attribute as we did in our summary message. So let's click on the attributes icon and select name from the list. "It's good to see you again." Okay, great. So right now we have 2 variants of the greeting message, and let's see how the bot will respond to us when we start a new chat. Okay, so we are getting the first generic welcome message, and we also are getting the customized greeting with the customer name inside. But as you can see, we are collecting the name in the next step, so the bot doesn't already know what name the customer is using. So right now the attribute for the name is replaced with the generic user instead of the actual name. And in this case, we want to make sure that when the customer name is equal to user, we will filter out this message. So we will show the generic one only. And when we know the customer name, we will filter out the first one and show the personalized one instead. So let's move to the bot response for the welcome message. And as you can see here, we have the add filter button right above the text response. And that's what we want to add. So let's click on the add filter button. And let's select name from the list because we want to filter by the name attribute. And as you can see, we are getting a lot of conditions that we can use for specifying this filter. But today we want to use the name equals and or isn't equal to specific value. So for the generic message, we want to make sure that whenever the name is set to user, so we don't know the name yet, the generic message will be shown. So let's select the condition equals and type in user here. Okay, let's apply the filter. Great, so right now, in case we don't know the username, we'll see this message and this one as well, because this one doesn't have the filter yet. So we want to add a second filter for the second message as well, filtered by the name as well. And in this case, we want to set the isn't equal condition, because we want to show this message only when the customer name isn't equal to user. So it has any other value, but not user. So let's select isn't equal. And in the value field, let's type in user. Okay, let's apply the filter. So right now, when the name equals user, this one will be shown and this message will be filtered out. And when the name isn't equal user, so it's equal, for example, to Casper, this one will be filtered out and this message will be shown to the customer. So let's save this bot response and let's test it out. Okay, so as you can see, we are not getting the personalized message anymore, and that's because when you are in the testing tool, every chat is treated as the chat with the completely new customer, so we don't know the customer name from the previous chats. When we will be testing that setup on the sample page where the customer data is actually saved, the second variant of the message will be shown instead of the generic one, because the bot will be already know that the customer name is, for example, Casper from the last chat we had with the bot. So right now the setup is working and the personalized greeting is ready. So I think that's all for today's lesson, and let's see you in another one. Thank you very much. Cheers.